Before we talk about the shy kid in a small New York home, before the dorm room wars, before the scandals, lawsuits, and billions, look at what he built. An empire used by 3 billion people every single day. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and now Meta. A digital universe where humans work, play, and live. But here's the twist. This global power didn't start in a boardroom. It began with one awkward boy typing alone at age 12. A boy who felt out of place in the real world, but ended up reshaping the digital one. This is the unbelievable rise of Mark Elliott Zuckerberg, the mind that changed human connection forever. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York. His father, Edward, was a dentist. His mother, Karen, a psychiatrist, a woman who understood how minds worked. But even she couldn't predict the storm her son would one day create. Mark wasn't loud. He wasn't athletic. He wasn't a popular kid. He was quiet, observant, curious to a level that scared even adults. While other kids played outside, Mark stared at machines, wires, and logic. He didn't want to use computers. He wanted to understand them. At 10, his parents bought him a Quantex 486 computer. For most kids, this meant games. For Mark, it meant creation. He learned basic C++, Java, faster than his tutors. His private tutor, David Newman, admitted, teaching Mark felt like chasing a rocket. By 12, Mark built ZuckNet, a messaging system connecting his father's dental office with their house. No funding, no team, just a 12-year-old building what the world wouldn't invent until decades later. Mark's brilliance had a price. He struggled socially. He wasn't good at parties. He wasn't confident with people. He was always the strange, smart kid, the one who talked about algorithms instead of gossip. His parents sent him to Phillips Exeter Academy, an elite school. But even there, Mark still felt out of place. Yet, every night after lights out, he coded. He experimented. He built digital worlds long before Meta existed. At 17, Mark built Synapse, an AI music recommendation engine that learned your tastes. Microsoft wanted to buy it. AOL wanted to hire him. Big companies wanted to lock him down. But Mark refused. Because his sights weren't set on a job. His sights were set on history. In 2002, Mark entered Harvard University. Quiet, awkward, but brilliant. In computer labs, students whispered, "That's the coding machine." In January 2004, inside a small dorm room, Mark began typing a program that would change the world forever. Lines of code, midnight energy, a vision for connection. On February 4th, 2004, the Facebook.com went live. Within 24 hours, Harvard went wild. Within a week, Yale, Columbia, Stanford begged to join. Within months, Facebook became a wildfire across America. Mark dropped out at 19. Not because he failed, but because the world couldn't keep up with him. He moved to Silicon Valley, with nothing but a dream and a laptop. Facebook hit 1 million users, then 10 million, then 100 million. Mark became the youngest self-made billionaire in history, at 23. But money wasn't the goal. Power was. In 2012, he bought Instagram for $1 billion, when people thought the app was a joke. In 2014, he bought WhatsApp for $19 billion, when people laughed at him. But today, those two apps dominate global communication. Between 2016 and 2020, Mark Zuckerberg entered the darkest chapter of his empire. 2016, Facebook is accused of influencing global elections. March 2018, the Cambridge Analytica scandal explodes, exposing millions of users' data. April 10th to 11th, 2018, Mark sits before the U.S. Congress and admits, "I'm responsible for what happens here." 2019, under pressure, he launches the Oversight Board, a Supreme Court for Facebook. 2020, the world locks down, and Zuckerberg pivots Facebook toward a new future, privacy, encrypted messaging, and a completely redesigned platform. These 4 years nearly broke Facebook, but they forged the next version of Zuckerberg. In 2021, Mark shocked the world. He rebranded Facebook to Meta, a bet bigger than anything he had ever attempted. A virtual reality world, digital offices, digital homes, digital life. People mocked it, Critics called it impossible, but Mark didn't flinch. He kept building, kept dreaming, kept believing. By 2025, his net worth crossed $216 billion, and Meta became the backbone of the digital future. Mark Zuckerberg's story isn't about luck. It's about obsession, rejection, isolation, vision, and the courage to build when the world says you can't. A shy boy with no friends, a teenager who felt different, a student who dropped out, became the architect of the digital age. So don't wait for permission. Don't fear being different. Don't worry about fitting in.